So I'm just cutting the front piece that we've excuse me, measured up. You can see this is the, you may just be able to see, this was the bit where the Velcro will go along the front of the bow that we cut at the boat. And then I've just started cutting around this area. So this will be the nose, right on the nose. And then this will be the bit that goes along the side of the boat. And I've made a better line here that should go all the way there. So I'm going to cut across this now, and then we'll be able to sort of cut away a significant amount of fabric, so it makes this a lot easier to work with then. There we go. So that's both sides cut out. So there we are. There's a few little threads I just need to sort of snip off here and there. But other than that, we kind of got this whole edging done. So this is where the tent ended here. And this will be on the starboard side. There's the hole in the middle that I have actually ripped a little bit. And then there's these new edges done, ready for holes putting in. These were the joins. Unfortunately, I should have left more here, but I've just joined these up and sewn them over. I need that maybe just to be sewn over both sides to reinforce it. But these I've left long just in case. I might, if something needs pulling out, it might be good to put the eyelets in there. I could always snip them off at a later time. These I've done flush, and then the other side, you can see, is exactly the same. I was just short here, so I had to put an extra little tiny patch in. But there we go. It looks quite neat from the outside, to be honest with you. I don't actually have any extensions here, do I? So these will be fine. So the next job will be to get the hole done at the front here. So that's what we're going to do now. This is where the mast will go, down here. And the mast on the lugger, I think, is 86 millimeters. It's something like that. And the diameter of this is 11 or 110 millimeters. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the hole bigger than it should be. Now, there's a reason for that. The reason is that I need these to overlap. So if the hole is exactly the same, these two pieces of cloth will just meet. So if I was going to do a zip for this piece, then yeah, that would probably work. But the other reason is if you can overlap things a bit, it's going to stop the water getting in as well. So that's what we're going to do. I'm hoping 11 centimetres will actually be enough. Now, here's the mark I made where it needs to be pulled up to the mast. So that did denote where the edge of the mast would be. But I think the tent can be pulled a little bit more. And actually, this is where I've ripped. It's about 2-inch rip. So I'm going to take it up to here and risk that we can, there is that little bit of length in there. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure this is all together. So just needs a little bit of manipulating here, like that. And then I'm just going to pop that on, and we're going to make sure that's in the middle. Draw a circle, and we're going to cut out both sides. So simple as that, really. So here goes nothing. Even though this is sort of ripstop nylon, it is quite vulnerable when when you're just chopping and you've got rough edges. You do need to get those edges sort of sewn up or hemmed. So there's the mast collar. Now, what we need to do, we need to get a piece of cloth that's going to come up here and tie, that will overlap, and so we can tie this collar on. So we need to make a collar, and then we need to make a piece of I'm going to make a piece of reinforced fabric or material that will go around and sandwich everything together. So one on the top, one underneath, and that will also take this and reinforce this as well. So the next job is to make the little tubular collar. This is just one of the offcuts from this morning. And as we know, this is going to be the shape we kind of want. Hopefully the deck soil won't pour out. We know that we need this amount here, but we also, I think, should have a little bit of overlap. So if that's sort of where the cloth goes, I think that much overlap, we can always chop away. So we're going to mark that off there. Then it's a question of how much height we want. And again, probably, I'm shouting because I've got my noise cancelling headphones on. Sorry about that. So the height, I mean, this will be where the mast comes up this way. I mean, I don't think we need masses of height, but again, we also need to make sure we leave a lip for what's going to go underneath. But let's have a look here. Height-wise, if we leave, say, 2 inches for that, another inch for a hem, and then height-wise, let's go for, I was thinking like 20 centimetres-ish. Yeah, so I would say about there. The beauty of this part of the project is we've got plenty of fabric. It doesn't take much fabric, this little bit doesn't. So there's the piece of material all ready to go for hemming. So let's get that hemmed now. Whoa, trying to be too quick. There we go. Nice. Easiest job on the project so far, that. You just need to snip the other side as well. You always have the starter thread and the end thread that you just need to snip off. So there's a nice hemmed edge, and that'll just keep this fabric nice and strong, and it will stop it from fraying, you know. So this is going to now go round the mast like that. And now we just need some of this edging to go around the outside. Probably, do you know what? We might even put it on the inside too, just to give it a little barrier. I'm going to do this now because, you know, once it's all sewn on that, it's going to be very difficult. But I've left a really decent hem like that. So what we're going to do, I measured this to be 30 centimetres, yeah, roughly. As long as we've got, so if we do 10 centimetres as our little hem here, and then we shall do, so we can basically put this right in the middle. There's 10, so that's 20. So 20 there, as long as this is right in the middle here, I think we'll be about there. It needs to go a bit higher, doesn't it, really? Yeah, it needs to go a bit higher. I'm going to put it a little bit higher. Then we can always put another strip underneath if we need to. Now, do we want one on the inside? I think we should. I think we should have one on the inside and one on the outside just to reinforce it. So let's make sure that lips, well, there. We'll try and sew these both together. I've just slipped. There we go. So there's the band, and that's going to kind of overlap like that, and then we need to have a piece of string tied onto here that we can tie round and reef knot. But that'll be that'll be the band, and you know it'll be nice and thick. That will. So the last job now is attaching this onto the main tent. So let's crack on with that. So I think if we can clip where we want this first piece to kind of go, that will at least give us a start, won't it? And what we'll probably do, let's just double check that. Yeah, that's okay. And then I think we're just going to have to use our... I have to just go with this, won't we? So let's look now. Let's bring the whole piece through. So we've got the... Oh, yeah, so like that. So I figure, actually, if we just sew it like this, and we just sort of bring it round as we go along. Yeah, that's going to be tough, isn't it? That was really difficult sew, but I've got it on, and I decided actually to sew the sew this on this way round, so I could draw a line on here and just sew it round, and now this will just bag up as I sew it. So it's on. You can see there's that little tear that needs sorting out. So what I'm going to do now is kind of, I think this is just going to need some stitching, isn't it? It's going to take a lot of strain, so it probably needs quite a bit of stitching. I'm going to stitch this finished bit in here, and then I'm going to stitch 2 strips of this stuff. Definitely one piece inside. We'll see if we need one outside.